Hi and welcome to Code with Stein. This is part 3 of building a time tracking SaaS using Django and Vue. In this part I'm going to make it possible to add and edit themes. I'm also going to show the themes on your account page. But I also want to fix a few things from the previous video. First I want to move the sign up view into the core app. So inside the views.py in the user profile I want to move the sign up view, just because I feel it belongs better there. So if I just cut it out from there and go into the core app and into views.py, and at the bottom here I can paste it in. So I'm also going to need a few of the other things here. I think it's just these three. So I can just cut them out, go to the top here, paste them there, save and save. And then I can go into urls.py, and instead of importing it from there, I can just append it there and save. Okay, sorry, I need to let the login required stay here on the user profile app. Save. Okay, there's no errors now, so I can refresh the browser. Just want to log out and see that the sign up is working. Perfect. Also notice there was something wrong with the logout redirect URL there. Okay, so now I can go to the to-do list. I can set this to done. And I also want to move the templates for logging in and similar. So these two templates, login, I can move this up to the core folder, move, and same with sign up, move. And then the last thing I need to do then is to change the path here to core. So now all of these views are inside the core app. Perfect. So I can set this as well to done. I forgot to add some links at the bottom of the sign up and login form. So if I go to login.html and then below the form here as a HR, create a title h2 class, subtitle, already have an account, then I can just link that to the sign up page. ahref URL sign up. Oh, sorry, I'm at the login now, so already have an account. It should be don't have an account, like that. Create one for free. And then I can copy this and go to signup.html, and below the form where you say this, you can say already have an account, click here to log in. I replace this with login and save. So if I refresh now, I can go to the bottom here, click to log in, user profile. Okay, need to update the urls.py to core, save, refresh, and now that's working. Don't have an account, create one for free. Perfect. Just so there was a little typo, create one for free. Great. So then I can set this to done. I also want to show my username up in the menu. So inside base.html, here we have the my account. Instead of saying my account, I just want to show my username. So then I use this tag first of request.user.get full name. And if I don't have it, I just say request.user.username. Save. So if I now log in, you'll see that I see my full name here instead of my account. Perfect. So then I can set this to done as well. And I don't want to show the plans when I'm logged in. So if not, like that, and if, and save. So now you don't see that link when you are signed in. Perfect. So I can set this as well to done, and then we can start creating the themes. And to do this, I need to create a new Django app. So I go to the command line and stop the web server, create a new folder, and there apps/theme. And then Python manage.py start app team apps/team. Great. And we can register this with Django in the installed apps list. apps.team. Great. And then the next step is to create a database model for the team. So if I just find the folder team and go into models.py, import Django. I want the user here as well. From django.contrib.auth.models import user. Class team, which is the name of the model. Pass in models.model. Here I want to make it possible to switch between two statuses, so I want to add them first. Status, active, give this a value. Deleted, so we don't actually have to delete a team. Choices, status, create a tuple, active, and then add a label to show in the admin interface. Deleted. And then we add all of the fields. First I want the title, which is a char field. Max length can be 255. Then I want the list of the members. Members equals models.many to many field, because I want users to be able to be members of multiple teams. So here I need a reference to the user. Related name is teams, so you can easily get all the teams for a user. On delete models.cascade. And then below here I want the reference to when, now who created it, created by equals models.foreign key. Reference to the user, related name is created teams, because it can't be the same as up here. On delete models.cascade. And I want a reference to when it was created, so created at is models.datetime field. Whoops. Auto now add equals true, so this is added automatically when we create a new team. And then we append the status. Models.char field, max length can be 10, because these are very short words. Choices, which is the ones we want to be able to select between. Default equals active, which is a reference to this variable. Then I want to add some meta here, so we can sort it alphabetically. Class meta, which is options for the model, ordering, which is list, and then just title, so it will now be sorted by title. Def str, so we get a string representation of the object. Return self.title, and there we have it. So before I create it, I can just go into admin.py and import it here, so we can show it in the admin interface. From .models import team, admin.site register team, and save. So if I now go back here, say Python manage.py, make migrations, the script will be created. Got an unexpected keyword argument. Okay. Maybe I don't need it on the many-to-many field. No. Just remove it from there. Then we run it again. Sorry, there's a typo. TH. And one more typo. Choices. Okay, hopefully now it's okay. Yes. So now we want to create a new model called team. Python manage.py migrate. And then we can just run the server again. So if I now go back to the to-do list, I can set this to done, and also this up here. And the next step is to create a view where I can create a new team. So inside the team app and views.py, First we need to import a few things. Import Django. Then we import the models from .models import team views def add. Pass in the request parameter. We want the user to be authenticated when we go to this view, so we need a login decorator from django.contrib.auth.decorators import login required, and then we add it above here as well. Okay, first we need to check if the form inside the add view has been submitted. We do this by saying if request.method is post, then we know that the form has been submitted. Then we get the title equals request.post.get title, and we check if the title has been filled out by the user. Now we can create a new theme by saying theme equals theme.objects.create title is title created by is request.user, because we know that the user is authenticated because of this. And then we can also add the user to the list of users. So we say theme.members.add request.user. So now you are the owner of the team, but you're also a member of the team. Team.save. And now we want to update the user profile, so we set an active team. If you remember the field here, active team ID. So we say user profile equals request.user.user profile. We can get this by just saying this. User profile.active team ID is team.id. We get this from here. And then user profile.save. And when that's done, we want to redirect him back to my account. Return redirect my account. And then we need to import the redirect, which is a shortcut, so you can just append it at the end here. But if the request method isn't post, we need to show a template. Return render request, and then the name, which is team/add.html, and save. So then the next step is to create a new template. So we begin by creating a new folder, templates, and inside there one more folder called team, and in there the folder called add.html, which is the one we refer to here. So I want to extend the base.html, and I want some breadcrumbs as well, so I can copy all of this, paste it here, replace the title with add team. And instead of linking to the added profile, I want to link to team add, which is the page we are on right now. We use a namespace here. I'm going to show you very soon how this is done. And replace with add team, and same here, add team. Div, and then we close the block like that. So to create the namespace team, we go into team folder and create a new file called urls.py. And first we import Django, and from Django we want to import the path function from Django.urls import path, and then we want to import the view we just created from .views import add, and then we set the app name, which is the namespace app name team, because we are going to have multiple different apps which have a function called app, no add, so then we need a namespace like this. URL patterns, then path add slash, pass in the view and name add. So when we link to this, we can just say team:add, and that will refer to this one. Great. So if I now go back to my account.html at the bottom here, we can create an HR. We are going to create a button to create a new theme. So div class columns, div class column is 12, h2 class subtitle themes, and then a button a href url theme add class button is success, so it's nice and green, add theme and save. So now I can go back to the browser, refresh. Okay, there's something wrong here. URL my account, theme is not a registered namespace. Okay, it's because I haven't imported it. So I need to go into Minutos URLs and import it here. Path, I want this to begin with my account /themes, include apps.theme.urls and save. Okay, so now I can refresh and we have the button here, add theme. When I click it, I get the breadcrumbs up here and the title add theme. So now we can add the form. So I can just go back to add.html and begin by adding the form. Form method post action dot at submit validate form. So we can use vue.js to validate this form before we submit it. Then we add the CSRF token. And we want one field for the title. Div class field label title. Div class control input type text name title ID underscore title, and then the v model title. And then below there we want to show if there are any errors with this field. So we say div class notification is danger, but we only want to show this if there are an error. So if errors length, and then we print it by saying v4 error in errors error. So now it will show inside there. And then below here we add the button to submit the form. Div class field, div class control, button class button is success. So this is also nice and green. Like that. Submit. And then below here we can create the block script. So we can add the vue.js script and block. Because if I save now and just refresh, you will see that we see this all time, and we can't have that. So inside here we create a new script tag. Const theme app equals, create an object, data, return, title set to empty, and errors can be an empty list. And we need to set the delimiters like that. You can use whatever you want here, but I like to use these ones. Then we create a new Vue app by saying vue.create app theme app, and we want to mount this to theme-app. And we haven't added this in the ID yet, so in there we say ID theme app. Save, refresh, and now the error is gone, but I've added something wrong there. Yes, like that. So if I now refresh, everything looks okay. If I try to submit this, yes, I haven't added the validate form yet. So below delimiters, I can create that by saying, methods which is a list of functions. Validate form, pass in E, so we get the event. This.errors is an empty list. We want to reset this every time we submit the form. If this.title return true, then we can just submit it. If not, E prevent default. This.errors.push, the title field is missing. Then just return false and save. So we can now test this. So if I submit, the title field is missing. My team. Submit. Okay, related manager has no attributes saved. Okay, I can go into views.py. Okay, yes, I know what's the problem here. Because if I now go back to models.py inside the user profile, I use the foreign key here instead of a 1-to-1 field. So we can save this, stop the server and update the database. Python manage.py make migrations. Python manage.py migrate. Then run server. Because when I used foreign key, meant that I could have multiple user profile per user. So we want the 1-to-1 field. So if I now go back and just refresh, the team was created. Perfect. So now I can go back to the to-do list and set this to done. And next I want to show a list of teams on the account page. So I go back to my account.html and in here I want to list them. In here I create a new div class columns and I want to loop through the teams here. For team in teams and for I want to get this from the database soon. And then I create a div to show this. Div class column is for div class notification. I can just use one of those. h3 class is size 5. Team.title. If team.created by is request.user, so if it is you, I want to show owner as the message on top there. If not, I can just say member and if. And then below the title, I want to show which plan you are on. So h3 class is size 6. Show plan here, because we don't have this yet. And then below the title, you can create a button. href can be empty for now. Class button is success. Details. And I want one more button for href. Class button is info. Activate. So we activate it if it's not activated. Save. So if I now go back to the views.py, we need to get the teams here. And then we need to import the model from apps.team.models import team. And then I can say teams equals request.user.teams.all. But I want to filter out the one which is active. But we can just test first that everything is working. Save. And now I have two teams here because something went wrong when I created them earlier, but that's okay. And then I can just say exclude pk equals request.user.active team ID. So then I get all inactive teams. User object, okay, request.user.user profile, of course. Refresh, and now I only get the team which is not activated. I need to create a function to get the active team because we are going to use this multiple places in the app. So inside the team folder, I want to create something called a context processor. So not a new folder, but a new file, context processors.py. First, I import team model from .models import team. This will make it possible to create globally available variables. Def active team, pass in the request method. If request.user.is authenticated, we need to check this first, and then we can check if request.user.userprofile.active team ID. This will return none if there are none. And then we get the team by saying team equals team.objects.get pk equals this one. And then we can return it by saying return active team. And then at last here, if we are not authenticated or we don't have an active team, we just say return active team and set this to none. So now we can save this. And then to use this, we can go into the settings.py and register it here together with the other default context processors from Django. So here we just say apps.team.contextprocessors.active team. I think it's the correct one, yes. So there are no errors, so now we can use this variable in the front end. So inside my account again, at the top here, I can say if active team, and if, we can just say active team.title to check this, everything is working, refresh, and I get my team here because that is the active team. And I can copy this one, paste it in here, but instead of just saying team title, I need to replace this like that. And here I can check that if you are the one who created the team, you're allowed to invite users. So you say if active team.created by equals request.user, then we can add the button for invite users. But we can't activate it yet because we haven't created this functionality. And if refresh. So now we see it here. Perfect. And we can add a background to it. Has background success light. Refresh. Now it's a little bit green to see that this is the activated team. Okay, so now we can set this task to done. And then the next step is to make it possible to go into the detailed view of a team. Before I continue, I just want to say thanks to my Patreons. If you too want to support me, you will find a link to my Patreon in the description below. To do this, I need to create a new template in the folder here. Just save it as team.html. I can copy a little bit of this. Here we want to show the team title, team.title. And the same here, team.title, team, and then we need to pass in team.id because that's the primary key to show the detailed view of a team. Team.title, close the div, close the div, and end the block. Before doing anything more to the template, we can create the view for this. So here, we say at login required def team request, and then we get the team. We also need to pass in team ID here, so we get the correct team. Team equals get object or 404, so getting 404 error if the team doesn't exist or similar. And then we say pass in the model. We want a team with this primary key, and the status needs to be team.active. So the status is set to active, and you need to be a member of the team. So members in, and then a request.user. So here we check that the user you are inside the list of members. Then return render request team/team.html. I need to pass in team, so that's available in the front end. So the last step now is to go to urls.py and import team here. And we add it to the bottom here as a integer team ID. So this team ID here refers to this one. Then we pass in the name, which is team, and name team, and save. So if I refresh now, I probably get some errors. Path is not defined. Path. Okay, everything looks okay. And then I can activate the details button there by going back to my account.html, URL team:team, and pass in active team.id, and the same below here, team.id. Save, refresh. So now I can click details, get object of 404. Sorry, I forgot to import it. It's a shortcut, so I can just append it there. Now the error is gone, and I see my team, which is the title of my team. Perfect. And here I want to show a list of the members of the team. So if I just go into team.html, h2 class subtitle empty6, so we get some space on top there. Members for member in team.members.all. Just want to show a simple title here of member.username. You can fix this later. And for. And save. Refresh. Now we see a list of the members of this team. Perfect. Okay, so we will add more details to this page later. But now we can set this to done. Next step now is to make it possible to edit a team. So inside the templates folder here, we can create a copy of add.html, edit.html, and the title field here can be populated with team.title. Get this from Vue. Save changes. And you can replace this title with edit team, edit team, edit team, edit, and then team.id. And then the template is ready. For the value here will be pre-filled because we pass in team.title here. So then we can create the view, which is going to be a little bit similar to this. So I can copy this, edit, and then we get the team the same way as we did up here. But instead of using this primary key, we say request.user.userProfile active team ID, which is the active team, because that's the only team you can edit. And then we check if the title is set. If so, we can just say team.title equals title, team.save. Then we add a message, so we can show the user that the changes was saved. Info, pass in the request, the changes was saved. And then we return the user back to the team page. return redirect team colon team and set team ID based on the team.id like that. And if it's not a post request, we can just show the edit template. Return render request team/edit.html, and we'll pass in team, so that's available in the front end. Then we can import this here. Just add path, edit, name is edit, and save. So now the last thing we need to do is to go in here to team.html, and at the bottom here is the HR. We can check if the user is the one who created the theme. If theme.created by equals request.user, because only he is the one who can change the theme. H3 class subtitle owner actions. Then we add a button to the edit page here. href URL theme colon edit. Class button is warning edit theme and save. So if I refresh now, I get an error because I forgot to close the and if tag. Great, there's something more wrong. It's multi-line like that. Multi-line, sorry. I can copy this like this, close the div and change is to 12. Refresh, and now it looks a little bit better. So if I click this now, I get a new error, sorry. Okay, so the error is up here, theme colon edit. It looks correct. No, sorry, I'm not supposed to pass in the ID there. So now I can refresh, change to 2, messages not defined. No, I forgot to import it. I can just go into here, copy this one, go to the top, paste and save, and refresh. And now I got the changes saved, and you can see the title up here was also changed. Perfect. Seems like I forgot to add a class to the edit template. Class, input, refresh, and now it looks much better. So I can change the title again, and everything seems to be working. Okay, the last thing now is to make it possible to activate a different theme. So I want to fix this button. To do that, I need to create one more view. So in here, I say login required def activate theme request, and here we need the theme ID. And then we can get the theme by saying this. So now we got the theme, but we don't. Okay, so we're getting 404 error if the theme doesn't exist. Then we can just say user profile equals request.user.user profile. User profile.active theme ID equals theme.id. User profile.save, and then messages.info, pass in the request. The theme was activated, and then we return him to the new theme page. Return redirect theme colon theme and pass in theme.id. Theme ID equals theme.id. Then we need to import this to the URLs path activate theme /int theme ID, since we need this, name activate theme, and save. And then the last step is to go to my account, and here we say URL theme now colon activate theme theme.id and save. So if I now refresh, okay, good, error. Forgot to add a colon to the function, no, to the view. active team is not defined. No, sorry, I forgot to import it. Sorry for all the mess. Refresh, and if I now click activate, the new team was activated. Perfect. And then if I just go to base.html, behind my username, I can say if active team, then we want to show active team.title there as well, so we know which team we have activated. And if refresh, and now we see my team. If I activate this one, you'll see that this was changed to my new team. Perfect. And that was it for this part of the series. I hope you liked it and it wasn't too hard to follow along. I know I go a little back and forth, but I hope it's easy to follow anyway. If you want to check out the source code for this project, you will find a link to GitHub in the description below. In the next part of this series, I will make it possible to add and edit both projects and tasks. If you want notification when the next part is published, you need to subscribe to my channel and also remember to click the bell. Okay, see you next time.